my school year so frustrated before.
The principal of the Micoud Secondary School minced no words in expressing her feelings and that of the staff, parents and students to Minister for Education and Micoud North MP Dr. Gail Rigobert. The opening of the new academic year was anything but welcoming as students, staff and parents were greeted yet again by a run-down block. The structure is dilapidated to the point that it looks like an abandoned building. At the start of the school year on Monday, Dr. Rigobert, accompanied by a team of ministry officials, met with the concerned parties after seeing the conditions of the school firsthand. The principal emphasized that the plight of the school has been long-standing, with very little attention from the authorities over the last 30 years.
I blame the staff, because when you sit and you take those things for 30 years, you are equally responsible for what has happened to Micoud Secondary. You tolerated it such long. And I'm sorry that you are the one receiving the brunt of our frustration, but it has to change. We cannot continue like that. We cannot continue having a situation where every time it rains, we pull the children on the country block to the center of the classroom because the rain comes into the room. The breaker trips, so we know that there's electricity, there's water going through the electricity. We cannot continue like that.
Dr. Gail Rigobert, for her part, pointed out that the problem existed long before her tenure. However, she gave the undertaking that she will see it resolved.
Under my watch, no student, no teacher would have to come under a building such as this. This is woefully unacceptable, it is uninhabitable, and we are working along with ministry officials and Madam Principal and her staff to ensure that we can accommodate the third formers while we endeavor to do something about this. Many will ask, why did it take the reopening of school for this to happen? And the truth is that there was no budgetary allocation made for the comprehensive work that is necessary here at Micoud Secondary School.
Many have queried why the school in the Education Minister's constituency was left to further disintegrate, bitterly questioning whether the situation is indicative of her commitment to constituents. But Dr. Rigobert says it is the complex factor of finance. She explained that the budgetary allocation for the repair of schools was inadequate this year. The minister, however, never indicated what was set aside for the Micoud Secondary School, given that the state of disrepair was known to the ministry as well as herself as parliamentary representative.
We are very concerned about the health of the teachers and the students and the safety in some areas of teachers and students. So for us, that situation must be corrected, and that is what the teachers are saying, that they have been patient. For years, the teachers have brought to the attention of the ministry the conditions of the school, and nothing has happened. So the teachers now are very concerned, and they're in a situation now where they can no longer continue to work under these conditions. And even for the students, we are very young students, who that if we continue to put them under these conditions, themselves can become sick. And we do not want to be affecting children's lives so early at that stage of their life. As usual, the union believes that the first step is to always engage the Ministry of Education. We believe that dialogue can resolve many situations. So we will continue to engage the Ministry of Education, but this time we are sending the message to the Ministry of Education that that engagement, when Micoud Secondary School is concerned, is not forever. We would want some immediate reaction. We would want some immediate things happening here to alleviate the situation. After that discussion with the ministry, we will decide on our options. But we are keeping our options open, but the first step is to dialogue with the Ministry of Education.
We want a change in Micoud. We want to see change, and change should come to us, because I believe it is high time. This situation has continued far too long, and it is time we see a difference. If we don't take this necessary action right now, nothing is going to happen, and our children will continue to either miss school. Right now, my son is sitting at home. I paid lots of money for books. It has gotten so bad that the frustration got to the principal, where she ended up in the emergency room. We don't want our principal in the emergency room. We want our principal in the school. And that's where I know her heart is. That's where she wants to be. But if that situation continues like this, she's not going to be there. She's going to be, and as well as other teachers. Before it gets to this point, we want to say to the authorities, the powers that be, do something, please. It's desperate. We need something to be done here.
You cannot, at the 10th hour, come to the school and convene a meeting as the Minister for Education when you have received numerous missives from the principal lamenting the condition of the school. And the provision of proper facilities for education is a basic fundamental human right. And so when you are saying, you sending your children to that facility, right, in those conditions, it is totally unacceptable. Because you find children with various allergies and, they're prone to so many health hazards. I was in Parliament and she said that the then Prime Minister did not make appropriate allocation for schools. And so, while she wanted allocations to renovate the schools in her area, she was trapped. She could not have done anything. Now she's in government. The tables are turned. And you're coming back to tell us that there was no budgetary allocations for the renovation of schools? That is unacceptable. And then you hear on the other side that the Prime Minister has given concessions to sandals, waiving taxes for sandals to the tune of millions of dollars. So where is the priority? Our children are suffering, and they will be missing out on the school syllabus.
They speak, of course, with great caution because they must take care not to actually say anything. Proof of this, according to their own words, is that they don't actually say things, they indicate them. As I indicated yesterday, and as the President indicated to me, but sometimes they don't indicate, they suggest. Let me suggest that as I indicated yesterday, I haven't determined that yet. See, they don't decide, they determine. If it's a really serious matter, they make a judgment. I haven't made a judgment on that yet. When the hearings are concluded, I will make a judgment, or I might make an assessment. I'm not sure. I haven't determined that yet. But when I do, I will advise you. They don't tell, they advise. I advised him that I had made a judgment. Thus far, he hasn't responded. They don't answer, they respond. He hasn't responded to my initiative. An initiative is an idea that isn't going anywhere. When he responds to my initiative, I will review his response, take a position, and make a recommendation. See, they don't read, they review. They don't have opinions, they take positions, and they don't give advice, they make recommendations. And so, at long last, after each has responded to the other's initiatives, and each has reviewed the other's responses, and everyone has taken a position, made a judgment, and offered a recommendation, now they have to do something. But that would be much too direct. So instead, they address the problem. We're addressing the problem, and we'll soon be proceeding. That's a big activity here in Washington. Proceeding. They're always proceeding or moving forward. A lot of that goes on. Senator, have you solved that problem? Well, we're moving forward on that. And when they're not moving forward, they're moving something else forward, such as the process. We have to move the process forward so we can implement the provisions of the initiative in order to meet these challenges. No one has problems anymore. Challenges. That's why we need people who can make the tough decisions. Tough decisions like how much soft money can I expect to collect in exchange for my core values.
And as the Minister for Education and MP for Micoud North, it is my responsibility to continue to lobby the Minister for Finance and my other cabinet colleagues to make this a priority. I do not anticipate any hesitation on their part to make this a priority because the evidence speaks for itself. I must applaud the principal and his staff, the students and the parents for their patience. When they came in to register their kids and they were showed this block, they were rightfully very upset about it, as any one of us would be if we were asked to send our students or children to a facility such as this.
As of Tuesday, classes for Forms 2 and 3 have been suspended. Forms 1, 4, and 5 are reporting to school as usual.
Form 3 don't have no chairs, no desks. All there is no mashup. termites all in the classes. Not even the teachers have a desk. The building is bad. The galvanized is flying. My daughter's class, where they give my daughter, they don't even have galvanized. I don't know how she would stay inside of that. Half of the galvanized come out. So I came here to see what's going on, and because she will not be going in that class. They don't have to give us a new blocker. All they have to do is fix it. Fix the doors, the windows, the classroom. Paint it and let the children be comfortable. They put chairs. They don't have not one chair for the other children sitting to do their schoolwork. They have to fix it, like now, or put them somewhere for the time being.
Has indicated that in the short to medium term, a prefab structure will be erected to accommodate the students. Dr. Rigobert says her dream is for an ultra-modern secondary school. No time frames have been given for either of the plans.